Hello everybody, my name is Davis and welcome back to the video, and today we are here for your evening forecast for the weather across the United States. Before we get into it, make sure to like and subscribe and let's go. So starting off with the SPC outlook for today, as you can see we have two slate risks, one over here in the Ohio Valley and then one over here in the western upper Midwest region. So let's go and break down the threats that these risks bring. So starting off with their tornado risk, we do have a decently large 2% chance of a tornado over here that extends all the way from West Virginia out into portions of Michigan, so look out for that. If you're in that green area, you could see a tornado today. That includes Detroit, Cleveland, and more. And then moving on to the other 2% risk for a tornado that we have today, it is up here near Minot in North Dakota. So if you're in either of those green areas today, 13.3 million people are, you need to be looking out for a potential tornado today. So moving on to the damaging wind risk, we do have a 15% risk of damaging winds. That's 60 miles an hour or higher over here in the Ohio Valley. Once again, this includes the cities of Cleveland, Detroit, Pittsburgh, not quite Columbus, but maybe eastern Columbus. So if you're in that yellow region, you have a 15% chance to see some wind gusts of 60 miles an hour or higher tonight, and those are going to be very damaging. There's an intense ball of storms that is coming down in this direction right now. Probably going to see some severe thunderstorms depending on where you're at in this region. But yeah, moving on to the hail. Oh, sorry. I forgot to mention there is also a 5% risk up here in Wisconsin and eastern North Dakota, but that's just a 5% risk. So moving on to the hail threat, we have two different 15% risks of seeing hail of 1 inch or larger. One's up here in North Dakota once again, and then one is over here in the Ohio Valley once again near the Great Lakes. That includes Cleveland and Detroit. So if you're in either of those yellow areas, you have a 15% chance to see hail of 1 inch or larger today/tonight. So you need to be ready because you could see some very strong thunderstorms coming your way tonight. Like I said, there's like a big cluster of storms that's going southeast, which is unusual. Usually storms go northeast, but we have a weird flow going on right now in the U.S. So they're heading southeast here. It'll probably be nighttime by the time it reaches, West Virginia and stuff like that, and they might fizzle out a little bit before then. So moving on to tomorrow, we do have two more marginal risks of severe weather in similar areas. One of them is over here in the Midwest into the Ohio Valley into the Northeast. It extends all the way from eastern Iowa all the way up into southwestern New York. So look out for that if you're in that region. And then we have another one up here in North Dakota and Minnesota. That includes the cities of Minot and Bismarck, sorry. This marginal risk includes Chicago, so that's a decently populated area, obviously. But yeah, we're going to go and break down the threats that those bring. We do have another 2% risk of a tornado tomorrow over here in the Ohio Valley. Also northeastern bits of Indiana and southeastern bits of Michigan, as well as western parts of Pennsylvania. And then northern Ohio, so look out for that tomorrow. Wind threat, we do have two 5% risks of winds of 60 miles an hour or higher. One is up here in North Dakota, and then one is over here in the Ohio Valley Midwest region. But there is actually a decent chance of some strong thunderstorms forming down here in central to northern Illinois rather, and you're not even under a risk there tomorrow, but be on the lookout because they're not very likely to form, but if they do, they will pack a punch, so look out for that. Moving on to the hail threat for tomorrow, basically the same exact thing as the wind threat, not much to go over there. And then, ladies and gentlemen, moving into Friday, we have two more marginal risks. It doesn't stop there. One of these is over here in the deep south Ohio Valley region, and then one is over here in the upper Midwest. So, yeah, kind of in between these areas, too, you could see some thunderstorm action. So, look out. But, yeah, that's the SPC outlook. Moving on to the National Hurricane Center, we have the remnants of Tropical Storm Harold here. Currently, its maximum wind speeds are about 25 miles an hour, so nothing really to be too worried about there at that point. Maybe if you're in very northern Mexico, West Texas, you could see some high wind gusts, but nothing damaging at all, nothing destructive, just kind of your standard rain shower at this point, honestly. Moving on to Tropical Storm Franklin. I haven't talked much about this because it's just ripping through the Dominican Republic here, and I don't think I have any viewers from there, so I didn't really talk about it. but it did rip through here today with some 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So make your thoughts and prayers out to these people down here. Hopefully everybody made through it. I haven't looked yet. I've been at school all day. Moving on to disturbance number 1 out here. This has a 60% chance to form the next 48 hours and a 70% chance to form the next 7 days. But even if it does, it's just going to go off to the north. No biggie. And then we do have this disturbance, which has a 10% chance to form in the next 48 hours and a 30% chance to form in the next 7 days. And this is also looking like it's going to go up. It may reach portions of New York here, but I don't think it will, and it hasn't even formed yet, so I really wouldn't worry about this. Moving on to the Eastern Pacific, we have a disturbance out here that has a 20% chance to form the next 7 days. This has been here for a while, so I doubt it's going to do anything. But this one this is the one that's been out here for a while. This one has a 40% chance to form the next 48 hours and an 80% chance to form the next 7 days. And California hasn't seen a hurricane in over 80 years other than Hurricane Hillary. And it might be about to see 2 in a row. Because, obviously you just got one there. But this very well could head up there. And, I mean, I don't know. It's not looking great. I don't want to cause any panic or anything, especially since I haven't looked too far into it. But this, I would definitely be looking out for this here. But then again, it might not even form, but it has a very high chance to. Central Pacific, you got nothing to worry about out here in Hawaii. Moving on to the excessive rainfall outlook. We do have 2 different slight risks of excessive rainfall today. That's a 15% chance of flash flooding. Why is the map glitching out so much? I don't know. Anyway, one of them is up here in the Ohio Valley for that cluster of storms, and then one of them is down here in the desert southwest for the remnants of Harold, so look out for that if you're in those regions. Tomorrow, we do have 2 more slight risks of excessive rainfall. One is over here in the northeast, so look out for that, and then we do have one over here in the Four Corner States region, so look out if you're in either of those areas. Moving into Friday, we have another slight risk of excessive rainfall. That means flash flooding. So that does include Denver, so look out. Very populated area there, obviously. Also, Cheyenne, Wyoming's pretty big. But yeah, not too much other than that, and it's a pretty small area too. And then going in to Saturday here, we have 2 different marginal risks, but no slight risks. And then moving into Sunday here, same thing. These will probably get upgraded at some point because we don't really know where rain's going to land on those days yet, but yeah. Alright, finally, Climate Prediction Center. I can make it through the rest of this video. We have a few different areas for August 29th to September 2nd that could see above average temperatures. There's an area down here in central Florida, an area here in southeast Texas, southern Louisiana, and then one in the Four Corner States, and then one all the way up here in Montana. There's just kind of, some above average heat over here in the western U.S., all the way down into the southeast, actually, so not really just western U.S. And then we are going to see some cooler temperatures over here, especially if you're in the Ohio Valley. So that should be nice. I know a lot of areas up here, it's just been brutally hot this summer. I mean, the whole country has. It's been a ridiculous summer, but yeah, finally maybe some heat relief over here in this region. But it may be a false fall, so look out for that. Moving on to our day 6 to 10 precipitation outlook. That's once again August 29th through to September 2nd. I mean, this drought is just ridiculous, man. We have more below average precipitation forecast here for the central U.S. That includes Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Arkansas. And man, I know a lot of areas out here have not gotten much rainfall at all for the past few weeks. So you need it desperately, man. And then we do have an area of above average precipitation up here in Montana, Oregon, and Idaho, which you do not need. You've gotten so much rain this summer, but yeah. Moving on to our day 8 through 14 outlooks, that is August 31st through to September 6th. We do have an above average area of temperatures down here, but this isn't too out of the ordinary. It extends all the way out from the, what do you call that? Why can I not think of it? I don't know. I guess the western panhandle of Florida all the way out into the southeastern Colorado region, but it doesn't technically reach Florida. It's just in Mississippi, or Alabama rather. There's a little pixel there. Yeah, whatever. We're calling it that. And there's just no below average temperature predictions here for August 31st to I can't speak, September 6th, which is why I said it might be a false fall, because it's going to be above average temperatures for a good amount of the U.S. from August 31st. I'm not even going to try to say that. You can see it. You can read, okay? Well, maybe you can't. But then again, how would you know what video you clicked on? Okay, we're getting off topic. Finally, precipitation outlook. August 31st to September 6th. Once again, we do have a few different areas of above average precipitation, but the main thing to focus on here is this below average precipitation might be going away just a little bit, but I wouldn't get your hopes up too much yet, because this could very easily build back up once again. It's been here like all summer pretty much. It's just ridiculous. I know this is so depressing whenever I talk like that. It's like, yep, you're gonna get more hot, dry wackiness here in the central U.S. But I mean, I don't want to lie. There were excessive heat warnings in effect for like like 100 million people today. That's sadly not even an exaggeration. So yeah. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Again, the Ohio Valley should be on lookout today, as well as North Dakota. But yeah, other than that, see you on the next one.